Hey everyone, it's Brittany, and today I'm going to do baking with Brittany. So today I'm going to make apple oat bites. This is kid friendly. I just made these with my kids at work and they absolutely love them. I loved them. They're so good. What you're going to need is oats. I just have old-fashioned oats right here. You can use peanut butter or almond butter, but I'm going to use some cookie butter. I think it tastes great with the cookie butter. Some raisins, if you like, and cooked apple. Now you can get already apple puree at the store if you want, but I like it fresh. And these are not cooked yet, but we are going to put those in the oven. I just got the oven preheated. What I like to do, you don't have to have these dishes. You can just use a regular baking dish, but I have these, so I'm going to use them. What I like to do is spread a little butter. I got about a tablespoon of butter in there, spread it around the bottom of the apple and a little bit on the sides. Oh, this apple broke. And then I also like to take a little bit of brown sugar, just like a couple pinches, and just sprinkle that in and around. You can also use cinnamon or like a pumpkin spice, but there's already cinnamon in the cookie butter, so I'm just not going to use cinnamon, but it tastes really good if you season them up. I'm going to put these in the oven at 350 for about half an hour. You're going to want to check to make sure it's turning a slightly golden brown and it's nice and soft when you put a fork in through the apple. And while these are in the oven, I'm going to let Pito out. He's right here licking the sugar off of my fingers. I'm going to let him out. I'm going to clean up my kitchen a little bit. So that half an hour will give me some time to do some things around the house. And then I will come back and we will put all of this together. Okay, so we have our apples baked. My apples took about 35 minutes. You just want to make sure a fork goes through them nicely. And then you are going to get a mixing bowl. Pito's crying. I'm going to give him some of this. You're going to get a mixing bowl. Mash up your apples. I like mine a little chunky. You can mash them up with a masher or a fork, whatever works for you. I just mashed mine up with a fork, left it a little bit of chunky in there, if you can't tell. This should make about 2 cups of apples. I think this is about 1.5. Another apple will probably make it 2 cups, but this is plenty for the flavor. So we have our apples. We are going to put in our cookie butter or peanut butter or almond butter, whatever you decide, a half a cup of that. I'm just going to put that in. And then we are going to, I like to use a spatula for this, just mix the apples and the butter together, just a little bit, just to get it mixed. And then I'm going to add my oats, about 2 cups of oats. This bowl is 2 cups. I filled it only a little bit because I didn't have a full 2 cups of apples. So I just wanted to make it even. I am going to add the raisins last because Pito cannot have raisins, dogs cannot have raisins. So I will be making a couple of the balls without them, and then I will add the raisins in for the rest. So just add your oats and mix those in so they are nice and mixed. Everything is incorporated together. A couple of flips, and I will show you this when it's all mixed together. There, it should look a little bit like that. If you have a pureed apple, it'll just be a little smoother. Mine's a little chunky, but that's okay because I like it like that. Now I'm going to take just little balls like that, roll them right up into a little ball, and I'm going to set those aside. I'm just going to make a couple for Pito just as a little treat. They might be like a little sticky, but they'll firm right up in the refrigerator. So the recipe calls for a half a cup of raisins. I'm just going to use one little pack. It's an ounce little box of raisins. I don't like too many. I guess you could just use however much you want. Someone also gave me the idea to use some chocolate chips, so that's an idea, or maybe a nut that you like would be good. So I'm just going to mix these raisins right up. Some raisins in there. Ooh. Okay, now make sure you have a container or a plate or a tray to put your balls on. I just have a container so I can just throw them right in the refrigerator when I'm done with them. And we're just going to start rolling our balls. And Pito just caught a fly. So a little backstory on my baking experiences. I've been baking for years. I bake all of our family holiday treats, birthdays. I just love to bake. It just clears my mind, gives me a little peace of mind, and you get yummy treats out of it. I also make a really good cheesecake. I love cheesecake. Unfortunately, my boyfriend is not a fan of cheesecake that much, so I haven't really made a cheesecake in a while. I usually just will do it for birthdays for my family. Alright, so I'm just going to finish up these balls, and I will show you after they are refrigerated what they look like. You're going to want to refrigerate them for about a half an hour until they're firm. You can also keep them in an airtight container in the refrigerator for 4 days, or you can freeze them for later on. This is also great to do with your kids. It's very easy. It's like a sensory thing to do, and it's very delicious and good for them. The cookie butter, maybe not so much, but it's still pretty good. And they're getting some fruit intake. So figured out that giving them a nice squeeze as you're rolling them sticks the ingredients better together and gives you a nice ball. Instead of just lightly rolling them, they'll just crumble, but if you squeeze them nice together, they'll stick. Okay, so I have my balls all ready to go. I got a few for Pito without raisins, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 with raisins for us. If you use the full cup, 2 cups of apples and oats, it should make about 30, maybe a couple less, but with this batch it made about 20. So I'm going to pop these in the refrigerator for about a half an hour, and I will show you when they are nice and firmed up what they look like, and I will taste one. Okay, here are the balls. They are not quite all the way firmed up, but I'm on my way to go somewhere, so they're super good. And we are going to try one and give Pito one as well. Pito, you want a little treat? Do you want a little treat, honey? Okay, let's do that. I'm going to try one. so good. They taste like a soft apple granola bar. Very addicting. Keto's turn. Let's do this. Alright, you ready? Tell me what you think. I didn't want to make a lot because they're not very... The cookie butter for keto is probably not so healthy, but he also has a little apple piece left over from earlier that he just doesn't want. What do you think, buddy? He's chewing it up. Do you like it? Well, I think he likes it. Maybe we'll just do peanut butter for you. Alright guys, well, thank you for watching, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.